Hello, my name's Asatsu5, and I had a video request to do a review of Paracord bracelets. And after thinking long and hard about the subject and how I was going to approach the review, I decided you really can't review Paracord bracelets. It's like reviewing socks. There's not one sock that has any great advantage over another sock. They pretty much serve the same functions. Of course, you got wool socks, cotton socks, silk socks, but they pretty much have the same function. So you really can't review them unless you're doing it for quality. But so I decided that instead of reviewing Paracord bracelets, stats and quality control and everything like that, I'm going to talk about my take on Paracord bracelets, my opinion on them, what they can and can't do, and reasons why I wear them. But yeah, I don't really think you can really review them. I don't see the next SHOT Show that people having a big booth at the SHOT Show with the new revolutionary design of Paracord bracelet. I just don't see it happening. It could, probably will happen since I said this on camera, but oh well, I don't think it'll happen. But my brother bought this store-bought Paracord bracelet, and it's pretty good looking. And after looking at it and examining it, going on the internet, learning how to make one, he decided that he doesn't need to buy any more Paracord bracelets. He can make them himself. So this is one of his earlier pieces. This one's mine. This is a Cobra Stitch. This is a King Cobra Stitch. This one's a little bit thicker. And he started making Paracord bracelets, and as he progressed and got more experience, he came out with his own little weave. I don't know if the weave has a specific name. It's probably been done before, but he came up with this ideal, and it really added some depth to the Paracord bracelet. And here you go. This is a Cobra Stitch, this is a regular Cobra Stitch, and this is a King Cobra. But just by slightly changing the braid up just a little bit, you can see that it adds a whole lot more depth to the Paracord bracelet. It almost has like a 3D effect. Even though this is a 3D object, it kind of has a 3D look when you look at it, and to me it's more aesthetically pleasing to look at. And my brother perfected this weave, and he's made several more Paracord bracelets. He has these kind of earthy colors right here, which I think rock. They're extremely good looking Paracord bracelets. He has a solid international orange, and then he made one for his school colors, and that's one of his multicolored ones. And after I saw that he got pretty good at this, I decided to commission a Paracord bracelet, and this is what I came up with. I really like this Paracord bracelet. Again, it has the same braid that my brother does, and I wanted OD with international orange, and to me it just pops off the wrist. It don't literally pop off the wrist. It has a clasp, but it visually pops off the wrist, and I find it visually pleasing. Now that I've showed off our little Paracord bracelet collection, I want to talk about some of its functions. Like I said, one Paracord bracelet doesn't have a whole lot more functions than another Paracord bracelet, but there's a community of people out there. Not everybody who wears Paracord bracelets are survivalist, but there's a community, a group of people that when you ask them why do they wear a Paracord bracelet, they say, oh, it's so if I get in trouble, if I get lost in the wilderness, I have extra string and lashings and Paracord. I can lash stuff, rig stuff, make shelter, fish. I have 7 inner strands of Paracord that I can tie stuff and make stuff with, and it's just pretty useful. And by the way, my brother uses these shackles that hold 130 pounds, and these can add to the survivability factor as well. And they'll tell you that. They seem to justify wearing one pretty well. And but once you start thinking about it, in my opinion, I don't want to offend anybody, but this is just my straight up opinion. If you're a real outdoorsman and you do your job as an outdoorsman, you don't need a paracord bracelet. You don't need to rely on it. Why not just bring extra paracord? If I'm usually when I'm in the outdoors, it's mostly a day trip, and I'm not that far from the vehicle, and it's around places I know. If it's not around a familiar forest, I bring a GPS and a compass, and if it's an extended stay, I bring rod and reel, fishing line, a tent, file making equipment, and my knife, or knives, because I'll have a folding one and a fixed blade and a multi-tool. And I bring all the stuff that I could possibly need. So I don't need paracord bracelets to make fishing line. I don't need paracord bracelets to make a shelter. I'm bringing that. I'm bringing a tent. So there's really no reason to have this. I don't really have a physical need for it. And divers have a spare parts kit that pertains of mask straps, O-rings, a multi-tool, just some extra spare parts. So if they forget something or they break something out on the boat several 100 miles out in the middle of the ocean, they have spare parts so they can continue to dive. And we need to look at going into outdoors like that. Bring a spare parts kit and prepare before you go out in the woods. Remember, redundancy is the key to being prepared, and you'll find that you do not need to rely on a paracord bracelet. Sorry if I offended anybody, but yes, you can physically unravel it and use the clasp and stuff and the inner strands to do certain tasks. But why not just bring extra paracord on your trip? Then you don't have to rely on this. Well, that's my opinion on the survivalist view of paracord bracelets. Let's talk about some of the mythical properties that a paracord bracelet might have. You've seen it advertised, and that paracord bracelets can stop a knife attack. My brother has a wonderful video of him testing the cut resistance of a King Cobra paracord bracelet, and he's using a K-ball camp knife, but I've even done this with the Cold Steel Roach Belly fixed blade knife. It's extremely lightweight. It's lighter than most folding blades that I have and carry. It's an extremely lightweight knife, and any knife with a proper edge goes right through them very easily. Just a slash, it cuts through them. Think about it. What do you do when you need to get some paracord off of your spool of paracord? You cut it. So why should this not be able to cut the paracord bracelet? If I can cut it right here, then I can cut it right here. And my brother Chemo Kid 1SS, check out the video. He has a great video demonstrating that. And that's not to say if you wear several of these on your wrist and someone made a slash, that it won't deflect it. It could deflect, but look what happens. Usually in a slashing motion, when you slash and then you follow through. And then you're not just going straight up and down, you're slashing, following through. So I have my paracord bracelets on, and I'm using this as a knife shield. So I have multiple ones on, and I can't get them to stand still. Hang on one second. But let's just say I decide to wear multiple paracord bracelets, I slash, follow through, look, I cut my hand. Won't be able to hold a knife anymore or a gun. Slash, follow through right here, cut my wrist. There goes those tendons. And possibly some blood vessels, or most likely some blood vessels. So if it lands in between them, if you follow through, then it goes onto your wrist or onto your hand, you're pretty much screwed. Because if you cut any of these tendons right here, you can't grab anything, and you can't really defend yourself. And like I said, it is possible for a paracord bracelet to deflect or kind of stop a straight up and down blow like this. I mean, with this paracord right here, I can do that and it's not going to cut it. But with a forceful blow, it's most likely going to push that paracord bracelet away, and then you're going to end up cutting yourself or getting cut yourself. And so it's not a good idea to block with these things. They'll surprisingly not cut resistant, or not to the standards that would constitute blocking with them. Now, if it happens to deflect a knife blow, then you're extremely lucky, and you should probably buy a lottery ticket. But I wouldn't plan on this. It's not a good strategy. A good strategy is not getting in a knife fight. If you can possibly run, get away, maybe pull out a gun, if you're cornered, that might be better. But avoid knife fights. That's the better strategy. That's your best defense. Now, I've pretty much bashed all the common beliefs about paracord bracelets. And again, I'm sorry if I offend anybody. This is just my own opinion. And I'm entitled to it. And that's what this video is about, is my opinion on paracord bracelets. What function do these paracord bracelets serve if you don't need them for the outdoors? You don't need them for self-defense? And here's a good way to think of it. Let's just say these are cut resistant, cut proof. They don't cut very easily. It's like putting a square inch of bulletproof Kevlar on your body and expecting it to block a bullet. It's just not a good idea. You have all of this to cut if you're just wearing one of them. If you're wearing multiple ones, you still have all of this and this to cut, and you have your whole entire arm over here to cut. You have your body to cut. It just doesn't provide a lot of protection. It's like putting like 1 square inch of bulletproof vest on and expecting that to save your life. It's not going to work. But that being said, what purpose does the paracord bracelet serve? Why am I wearing one? Why are you wearing one? And I'm willing to bet, even though people wear them for cut resistance and knife blocking, and people do wear them for outdoor survival, bushcraft situations, I bet you there's a more common reason that we all wear paracord bracelets, including me, my brother, my friends, the tactical community on YouTube, the outdoor community on YouTube, the knife collector community on YouTube. There was one common reason why we all wear these paracord bracelets. They just look good. That's why I wear them. Lord knows I don't get any more use out of them besides that. And if I'm going out in the woods, I'm bringing spare gear. I'm bringing a backup kit. If I'm in a self-defense situation, I'm probably going to run and scream like a little girl. Just joking about the screaming part. But if I get in a self-defense situation that I cannot avoid, first of all, I'm not going to rely on this. I'm going to rely on offensive weapons to get the poison off of me, and then I'm going to run again. So, yeah, the most common use for the Paracord bracelet is fashion, and it's a fashion statement. Again, at the beginning of this video, I said I don't want to label all Paracord bracelet wearers as survivalist, because there's many people who wear Paracord bracelets who are not survivalists. But when you do wear a Paracord bracelet, people in the same community as you, or you are identified by other people in your community who recognize the Paracord bracelet, and they say, I bet you he's into the outdoors. I bet you he's into knives. I bet you he's into guns and camping and all that stuff. That's what the Paracord bracelet says about you. And that's a stereotype. Does everybody who wear Paracord bracelets like to hunt, fish, camp, hike, knives, guns? No. But that's the general stereotype with the Paracord bracelet. And other people in your community, in the tactical community, in the knife collecting community, in the gun community, in the survival community, they'll recognize that, and you have common ground. Wow. I bet you didn't think I could talk about Paracord bracelets for 16 minutes now. That is my little spiel on Paracord bracelets. I hope you enjoy this video. I hope I didn't offend you by debunking some of the myths about Paracord bracelets. Yes, can they be functional? They can, but there's really no reason why to use them unless you have some very poor planning skills. If you plan ahead before you go out in the woods, in can't talk today. If you I'm just not going to say it. But if you have proper strategy and you plan ahead, you don't need Paracord bracelets. If you get in a self-defense situation, first of all, if you plan ahead, you can avoid self-defense situations. But if you happen to get one and you are pretty confident doing what you do, as far as knife, gun, hands, running, you don't really need them. So, to me, they're just aesthetically pleasing to the eye, and they say something about you, about your personality. I'm Satsu5. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I am out.